Welcome, everybody. This is Bob Milam with the Utah High School Football Officials Association with another study topic for 2022. Today's topic will be the High School Activities Association 35-point mercy rule. Today's session will be somewhat short, so let's get started. We'll get right into it so that we can cover this important aspect of our game. So our agenda today will cover some background about why this rule is here, talk about the applicable rules, where to find the mercy rule for Utah high school football games. We'll talk about what the rule actually says versus what we might think it says, and talk about a quick review of referee mechanics resulting from this rule, crew mechanics that result from this rule. We'll go over some clock operator instructions and then sum everything up. So I expect we'll have a shorter video today than we normally have, but it's an important topic that we cover. Well, why is it important and why do we even have a mercy rule? Frankly, it's pretty simple. Player safety is the number one reason, because mismatches in competition lead to a loss of concentration by the players, and that's when they place themselves at risk for injury, when people are not focused on the game and protecting themselves on both sides of the ball. So tempers can flare on one side of the ball. On the other hand, people can become distracted and just want to leave the contest and not pay attention to keeping themselves safe. So it's important for player safety that we have a mercy rule in high school football to shorten the games that are mismatches. And this actually discourages discouragement. We want to support the coaches and the programs in high school football and have people have a good experience no matter what their role of participating in the program might be. So whether they're on a team that's going to dominate or be dominated, we want their experience to be a good one. So we want to discourage discouragement as much as possible by minimizing the amount of time that a game takes when it's a blowout. Thirdly, it supports a competitive environment. We want people to compete. The benefits of competition are one of the things that drives the values of the game of football. And it supports the UHSAA's mission, which is to stress education and cultural values and improve the participation experience in activities. And specifically, those activities that promote life skills and lessons involved in competitive athletics and competitive activities that foster sportsmanship and mutual respect. So we support this mission as well as officials, and it's our duty to support this mission of the UHSAA. Well, where do we find the 35-point mercy rule? We've all heard about it, but where is it actually written down? Well, in order to find it, you have to first go to the UHSAA website, which is listed here under football. When you type that in, as indicated by the upper yellow circle, it brings you to this page about UHSAA football. And down at the bottom, one of the bullets at the bottom of the page is circled, and it's called Policies and Pairings. And if you click on this, it will take you to the 35-point mercy rule, which is found here in this PDF document. So it lists the rule. It's only a paragraph long. It's not very long. It's very brief and to the point, but it's an important way to understand exactly how the rule works. So let's take a look at it in some detail. The 35-point mercy rule is the alternate timing rule that's in effect for all levels of games in Utah high school football, whether they be varsity, JV, sophomore, or freshman. So at all levels, we play the mercy rule. After halftime, if a team's lead exceeds 34 points in the second half of a game, then the clock will be stopped just as our regular rules describe in Rule 344. And in effect, the clock will be stopped as the current rules require, and no change in crew mechanic signals for any of the 5 officials at the end of each down are required. So no change in crew mechanics. The clock stops as it ordinarily would, or runs as it ordinarily would after each down. The change comes in when the clock starts. The clock will start on the ready for play signal in all situations until the point differential reaches 21 points or less. So this is what makes the rule different. And in effect, only the referee has to alter his clock mechanics. The rest of the crew at the end of each down still gives the same set of signals, no matter what happens on the down. Inbounds, out of bounds, first down, short of the line to gain, incomplete pass, touchdown, safety, touchback, whatever. So in effect, the clock stops at the end of the play as it ordinarily does, but the difference, it starts on the ready for play signal in all situations. And this includes kickoffs, extra points, and other untimed downs, other than those at the very end of a period or of a half. If the point differential reaches 21 points or less, then we revert to normal timing rules again. And this rule is in effect for all non-region, region, and postseason games that the UHSAA sanctions. So that's it. That's the rule. So the key thing to remember, second half only, 34 points or more, no change at the end of the down. The clock operator will stop the clock at the end of the down and then start it with the ready for play signal every single time. So, referee, what do you need to do differently? Well, as we just talked about, the clock will start on the ready for play signal in all situations until the point differential reaches 21 points or less. So your key signals, number one is this one, wind the clock. You'll be doing this before every ready for play. Whether the clock is stopped or started, do it every time. Third, the signal number 3, stop the clock. We're still going to be using this one. And I will guarantee you that your clock operators and play clock operators will be confused. So be ready for confusion in the clock operation regarding both the play clock and the game clock. So you're going to have to probably reset these quite a bit during the running clock situation. Crew mechanics. How about the rest of the crew? What signals and differences do you have? None at all. Don't do anything differently. Just keep giving your signals the way you have the rest of the game. The referee is the only one who has to alter his clock mechanics. And for clock operator instructions, we suggest the following. As we've said in previous trainings, make sure you download this form from the UHSFOA website and share it with your clock operators. We also suggest that you share the mercy rule with the clock operators as well by printing out this section of the off the UHSAA website that we pointed out earlier. So bring those to the games and make sure your clock operators understand how to run the clock during the mercy rule. This is a point of contention between coaches across the state because so many times games are run differently than what is described here in the rules. So let's sum up what we've talked about today. The mercy rule is there to promote player safety and support the mission of the UHSAA, and it can only be found on the website, so you have to look there. It's not in the rule books. It only applies to the second half when the lead reaches at least 35 points or more, and the clock starts normally, or stops normally, but starts on every ready for play. So nothing different at the end of the down, but it starts every time the ball is marked ready for play by the referee's signal. Normal timing returns when the lead drops to 21 points or less. The referee is the only one to alter his mechanics. The rest of the crew do things as normally. Be prepared to take reprints of these articles to your clock operators and be prepared for them to make mistakes. So that's it in a nutshell. Make sure that you use the mercy rule, but you use it correctly as found in the rules of the UHSAA. And with that, we wish you a great rest of your season. If you have any questions, please get in touch with me. Thanks.